everyone, Jackie Crawford-Ross with RE/MAX Professional Associates, and today I'm going to be going over, should you buy a house before you get married, or get married then buy a house? It really depends on your situation. I talk with so many buyers who they're getting married, which is wonderful and exciting, but their biggest question to me is, should we buy a house now or should we wait until after we get married to buy a house? So it's your decision, it's your personal preference. Of course, this is why we need to have a buyer consultation first to determine what you might need. But for today's video purposes, I'm gonna be going over both. I'm gonna give you positives as to why you should buy a house before you get married, and then why you should get married, then buy a house. Okay, so the list of why you should buy a house before you get married. Reason number one is it might determine your wedding budget. So many buyers today are not only responsible for the down payment on their house, but they are also responsible for their wedding budget. So you only have so many funds. Well, I mean, it would be great if we all won the lottery, you know. But for most people, they only have so many funds. So buying a house might determine your wedding budget. You know, you put your down payment first, and then whatever is remainder is what you can get married with. So that might be reason number one why you decide to buy a house before you get married. Reason number two is maybe you decide your whole wedding registry based on what you need for the house. So now you bought the house, wonderful. Maybe you put the pots and pans on your registry, the cups, the plates, the chainsaw, whatever you may need for the house. That kind of makes your wedding registry, which is wonderful. It's kind of nice and easily done for you. Reason number three as to why you might want to buy the house before you get married is all those gifts that you put on your wedding registry, they can be sent to your house. Wonderful. Then you don't have to move them. You can just unpack them and put them in your cabinets. It makes life so much easier. So those are three reasons why you might want to buy a house before getting married. Okay? Now to play devil's advocate, why you might want to wait and get married first, then buy the house. So reason number one is you might want to do the inverse of what I just said. You know, you only have so many funds. Maybe you've dreamed about your wedding since the moment you set foot on this earth, which is fine. Maybe you do your wedding first and then that determines your house budget. It's up to you, it's your prerogative, okay? Reason number two is you might need to decide, or as a couple, what you might want out of marriage, and that might determine what you might need for a house. So for example, maybe you get married and you decide, oh, you know what, honey? I think I want to have kids right away. That's totally fine. Maybe that changes your housing needs. So maybe getting married first kind of determines what you need from a house, and that's totally fine. Reason number three why you might want to get married then buy a house is there are some people who can only handle one life event at a time, which is totally fine. So, you know, maybe you're the type of person where you can only focus on one thing, multitasking is not your forte. If you were to plan a wedding and buy a house at the same time, it's done all the time, but it does require some prioritizing and some coordination. So you might be the type of person, or maybe you and your partner are the type of people where you can only tackle one thing at a time, which is totally fine. Then I would be in the camp of get married, then let's buy a house, okay? So those are the pros for both. Should you buy a house, then get married, or get married, then buy the house? So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them below. Feel free to call, text, email me. I'm Jackie Crawford-Ross with RE/MAX Professional Associates, and until next time, have a good one.